Hey guys, so for this video we'll be going over something called mountain pose, or in Hindi or Sanskrit it is known as Tadasana. So it's very simple. It's actually one of the most basic poses that we have in yoga, in the yoga practice. So basically to start, you want to just place your feet hip width apart. And so the way I understand Tadasana is to start like you're building a foundation, and any strong foundation has to start from the ground up. And so with that being said, we start with our feet always, usually. No, except for an inversion, of course. But in this case, since we're standing, we're starting with our feet. So you have feet hip width apart. You want to sort of have you're pressing into all four corners of your foot. So you're in the picture each, top right and then bottom right and bottom left and top left. Each four corner of your foot is actively, engaged and pressing into the ground. And I don't know if you can see from the side view in the mirror, but I have a slight bend into my knees. And fingertips, or rather toe tips, your toes are also spread wide apart as well. So you can sort of press in to each of your toes and really get that traction, your legs switched on. And then also it's important to find something called a plumb line. So a plumb line is basically like that middle ground, or that midway point between all the different planes of motion, not emotion. So the different planes of motion, like the transverse plane and etc. So to do that, we start by just moving or shifting your weight from side to side, and just kind of notice, where you find that sort of middle ground within your own body, because each body is different. We all have different lives, we all have different experiences. Some of us have injuries in certain ways, some of us don't. So for that reason, that's why we say everybody is different. Everyone brings something different to yoga each time. So again, getting back to finding the plumb line, you kind of just shift your weight from side to side, and then finding sort of just like that nice middle ground. And when you feel like you have it, then start to shift your weight back and forth. So onto the balls of your feet, onto your toes, and then back onto your heels. And maybe just do this a couple of times just to try and find, again, that nice middle ground, that midway point. And then you'll start to naturally sort of find it. And then from there, I like to cue to just have a soft bend into my knees. And I want to have sort of my patella, my kneecap, in line with basically I call it the middle finger, or just the finger, not the finger, I keep saying finger, the toe just beside your big toe. And so you just want to sort of imagine the middle of the patella lining up with that middle toe finger, if that makes sense. Having a soft bend into your knees. And also from there, it's kind of working our way up into our hips now. So I like to think of it as headlights. So think of your hip bones as headlights. And you want your headlights flashing on. If you notice, if you can just grab your hip bones here on the sides, everyone has them just in, some may be closer, some may be further out. But imagine, so you're shining two lights from each hip bone, and you want the light to shine directly outwards. So if you notice that maybe the light shines downwards, that's indicating that you have an anterior pelvic tilt. So your tailbone or your pelvis is tilting downwards this way. But and then on the other side, if you know that your tailbone or your hip, your flashing lights, basically your street lights, whatever we can call them, if they're facing upwards, it means that you have a posterior pelvic tilt. It means that your tailbone is tucked and you're sort of leaning forward. And you notice by leaning forward, you're also placing more weight onto the balls of your feet and less onto your heels. So again, just kind of bringing it back. So you want to make sure that your tail lights are evened out. So finding just basically what we call a neutral pelvis, a neutral plane. And then once you have that, again, now working our way up towards the shoulders. So I like to think of it ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and then the crown of your head. That's kind of like a good rule of thumb I use to just make sure that everything is aligning with each other. So you can even start by shrugging your shoulders towards your ears and rolling them back. And the idea is to draw your shoulders down and back, and then having your arms sort of open up towards the side. And it may feel strange because a lot of people don't normally stand like this. So it may feel weird, it may feel like you're bending too much into your knees. Again, you can play around with it. Play around with bending into your knees But you don't want your knees locked. You want to have some play, some ability to move or adjust. And then again, so with the shoulders, also noticing, are your ribs flared out? So in that case, if your ribs are flared out, you're having too much extension into your lower back, maybe just try to draw your ribs a bit closer towards your hips. So again, inviting a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt or tucking your tailbone slightly. So again, each person is different. Each person has their own, sort of nuances within their own body. So it's just about identifying it within yourself and then, self-adjusting, self-correcting. And so basically, again, finding that plumb line. Tail lights are in a neutral, your tailbone's in a neutral plane. Shoulders are rolled down and back. Check out that your ribs aren't flaring out. And then just also your head, your neck and head is stacked on top of your shoulders. I mean, it always is, but what I mean by that is creating length. So drawing the crown or the back of your head towards the sky and then tucking your chin slightly. And if you want to, you can even, just close your eyes, see what it feels like to just be in the shape. Maybe even, after a time, start to notice the energy of this shape. And this, being mountain pose is actually connected to the root chakra. The root chakra is responsible for feeling grounded and secure and safe. And just like picture a mountain is immovable, it's strong, it's rooted in its foundation, it knows what it is. And so that's kind of the energy that I associate with this. So feel free to spend as much time as you want in that place. It can actually become quite meditative. Just allowing your thoughts to quiet down, connect with your breath, connect with the shape, notice your body, just take it all in. Try not to place any attachment to what you notice. You're just simply observing. And you may even notice that you just start to feel a bit weightless. And again, also it's kind of fun to just play around. Just again, figure out, maybe you bend or straighten one leg at a time. Maybe you play around in the mountain. What I love about yoga is that it often invites us to play, to do things that we don't normally do in our daily lives. A lot of us have office jobs or sitting and working in desks. So it's nice to just move, add creative movement, play around with it, see how it feels to put your body in different positions. And so that's mountain pose, that's Tadasana. I could go into a lot more, which I will do at another stage for, proper cueing and the muscles involved. But this is a good sort of overview, of basic understanding of this pose. And from Tadasana, from mountain pose, you can go into what is called high mountain pose, which is the same sort of setup, again, starting with the foundation, starting with your feet, finding that plumb line, soft bend into your knees, neutral pelvis, but then just extending your arms upwards towards the sky. Again, try to spin your biceps, or I like to cue your pinkies. So you want your pinkies aligning with each other. And what this does is it creates an external rotation in your joint, your shoulder joint. So then you can externally rotate your shoulders, drawing them down and back, and then looking between your hands towards the sky. But also you want to lengthen through your fingertips, so you're reaching towards the heavens, and at the same time rooted and grounding into the earth. And again, connecting with the energy of this shape. Notice how it feels. What comes up for you? For me, I'm noticing a sensation or energy building in my solar plexus area. So maybe that's just what I'm working on with right now, or maybe that's the energy of the shape that I'm picking up. So sometimes it changes. Sometimes you're feeling like other days you feel maybe it's working in your heart space or something that you're working on, personally. So it's great to just observe, take note of what you see or witness within your own body. Notice your thoughts, notice your mind. And then through there we come down into Samasthiti, bringing our hands into prayer at our heart space. And this is a nice just sign of reverence, a sign of gratitude. Just gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the moment, gratitude for anything, it doesn't matter. Just expressing and feeling that emotion of gratitude. If you'd like to, feel free to set an intention for yourself. Just kind of seal it in. and maybe take it with you into the rest of your day. And then our hands down to the side, back in Tadasana. And that's the overview. So I hope you enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and many more videos to come. This is only the first video of this series, and many more videos to come. So I really hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So I wish you have a blessed and beautiful day, and I will see you then.